My name is Russ, and I'm a doofus, and we're gonna just talk about trips and have a good time tonight. I'm hanging out on my back deck and got a little fire lit because it is about 62 degrees where I am, and that is fantastic. Fall is coming. That means camping is about to happen, and more adventures are on the way. But tonight we have Jesse and Daisy from Spartan Overland, and they're here to talk to us about number one, who they are, their builds, and the trips that they go on and the experiences that they have. So if you have any questions, I'm really not paying attention to the chat, but I'm sure Daisy will be. So yeah, the last time I did this platform or whatever, like I had a whole bunch of like crazy things. So I see Old Man All Truck is there. I see Simply Must Go. Both are in here. So you guys ask questions away, comment, heckle, do whatever you'd like. And yeah, so Jesse, Daisy, introduce yourselves.
Well, first, I'd like to say I'm a little jealous of your 62 degrees and your fire. However, it is also 62 degrees where we are,
Just
but
inside.
that's just because we keep it at 62 always.
Well, perfect. Well, perfect. Yeah.
So,
Um,
if you don't know, we're Spartan Overland. I'm Jesse.
I'm Daisy.
Uh,
oh, hi.
we we just look, see more people we know. There's FMC. So we're an overland channel. We do some off-roading, some overlanding, gear review, that kind of thing. We like to
We're two people that like to go outside and play in trucks and spend the night in the woods. Then we decided there was a name for that. It was called overlanding. And we started documenting it because, well, it was a learning experience from the start and we wanted to share.
what I think one thing that sets us a little bit apart is
My wife.
we
Sorry.
yeah, so we split the community a bit because I drive the Toyota Tacoma, but she drives
A Jeep.
the JK. So we got a little bit of both worlds. We don't do the brand division thing.
We both, it was what we liked. He liked the truck. He likes the wheelbase and how it performs. I'm wee little thing, and off-roading was brand new to me. And let's face it, I'd always wanted a Jeep since I was a little girl. It's just something I liked. I love the way it drives. Now I've driven both of them. I'll never leave the wheelbase that I have now. I love the way the Jeep handles. It works for me. It's not because I'm like, ooh, Jeeps are superior. It's just what I like.
Well, speaking of like the wheelbase and stuff like that, I mean, to be honest, if a lot of you guys haven't watched their channel and you don't know Jesse and Daisy, you need to go way on back, right? Go way back and watch some of those videos because you wheeled a Subaru on some trails for a while. Did you not?
Yep, that was my very first. So we went to ATR. It was Appalachian Toyota Roundup. For anyone who doesn't know, it's at Windrock, and they do it yearly. And I had gone. I think it was 2020,
Something like that.
and I grew up in this kind of world, but I never drove. I never did it. Jesse was like, "You want to drive the truck?" And I was like, okay. And after that trip, I came home, and within 6 months, I sold the car I had. I bought a Subaru Crosstrek because that was what was in budget, and that was the closest thing I could get my hands on to get me on dirt. I did a little mini lift and put some baby BFGs and some skids on it, and we took it out.
Plates and rock sliders.
Yeah, we did. It was fun. It was a super fun car. I really had a great time. It just wasn't enough. So about a year after that, I sold that and bought the Jeep because I really just wanted to wheel.
So the bug bit for sure. And just a little tidbit. For those of you who don't know my wife, for the longest time, she was really obsessed with muscle cars, and honestly still is. Like her dream car is a 1970 Cuda E body, and like that's what she wants. A 446 back, like she wants that. Um, I'm not a wealthy man, so that's not going to happen anytime soon, at least from what we can tell. Um, so she had a Dodge Challenger for a while, and very recently she shocked the ever living crap out of me. She decided to sell the Challenger and buy a Subaru Crosstrek.
They're so fun.
It's not here yet, but it's the first year. 2024 is the first year of the Wilderness Edition. So it already comes with a lift. It comes with kind of a turbo boxer engine and a lot of cladding and I mean a skid plate and all this stuff on already included, and it's outfitted for dogs. So like that, it's like perfect for her. Makes more sense, especially around here in the mountainside of things. And yeah, so I'm really hoping that she will get out there and start to like go out and camp, and we can bring the dog and all that kind of stuff because the creature comforts in my Jeep are gone. Right? They are gone. That thing is just built to crawl rocks and like just take through whatever because that's what I like. And that's what I love about off-roading in general is that no matter what, people can, you know, piece and build and whatever they want to do the things that they want to do. And I highly discourage people from getting into a Jeep club and then everybody commenting, what should you do? Or a Toyota group or whatever, and saying, do this mod, do that mod, whatever, just for the sake of showing it without having a purpose behind it. So, Jesse, I know that your rig is very purpose built, you know, for what you guys do. And then Daisy, the Jeep has been coming along and building up as you go. So now I think what you're on 37s. Just tell us about your build.
I have a 4-inch lift, Fox 2.0s, and 37s. I've got all upgraded steering components. Most of that is TerraFlex. I tell kind of like you said, when I bought her, she was plenty capable, and I've just been. It's very important to me that everything is mechanically sound and dependable because, like I say, I bought it to wheel. I want it to wheel. So just each time we just are switching out and strengthening components that will allow me to continue wheeling. The goal is to eventually make Moxie a trailer rig because I really just want to use her for what she's made for. I think the next thing in the books currently is a steering box. I'm going to upgrade that. She's fairly old. She's 2007. Most people are pretty surprised by that. There's a lot of miles on her, and that is the original steering box. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that next.
Are you going to go with what are you thinking? Are you thinking you're going to go to like an HD, or are you going to go to a ported standard box and do hydro assist, or?
Probably something that's going to allow hydro assist in the future. I've been in contact with Wes at Outlaw here in Charlotte, and kind of going back and forth with my options. And he's helping me pick something because he knows that my end goal. So he's trying to help me pick something that will get me there.
Looks like we lost him.
Hey guys.
Now's where we talk about him. He won't know till later when he watches this back.
Except for maybe we lost everybody.
Looks like.
Is that?
No, yeah, that's Matt.
Yeah, dark. That's for Ludio. That's right.
Now it's our show. So what do we want to talk about?
I only prepped for Russ's show.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Can't hear me here.
I mean,
him. You can talk about your build. I'm all done with mine. Moxie's just here to play.
Yeah. Well, you were still just working. Oh, there's Russ.
Okay, sorry. This is what happens when you get telemarketing calls like super late at night, and you just try to end it, and then it like changes the audio, and it's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm just here to fuck up your life." You know, that's all. But yeah, so there we go. So the last question I asked, and I don't know if you answered it because I was obviously in the dark there. Tell me about your build, Jesse. I know you've spent a lot of time and effort building that out to make it a purpose-built overlander. So explain that.
Yeah, and it's been a sort of long process, but recently we've I built a drawer system for the rear to relocate all of my tools because in the past they've been all the little nooks and crannies behind seats and under seats in the cab. So now all of my tools and recovery gear are in a drawer in the back, and the other drawer in the back is a permanent sort of galley setup. So we can pull into camp, pop the tent open, pull the drawer out, and be cooking. And I think Daisy timed it.
I actually did the last on our Allegheny a few weeks ago. We are now 7 minutes. That is completely
7
zero
minutes.
to fully set up in 7 minutes.
Man, I can make a mean cereal in about that time. That's about it. That's about it. But that's really cool.
Uh,
That's really cool. You
yeah,
guys have got it clocked in.
and this week, what I've been working on is setting up a dedicated solar battery to run the fridge and stuff in case we are
Yeah.
not traveling. We've been using stuff like I've got an EcoFlow and we charge it 12 volt. Usually, we'll get into it in a minute. Matt's watching, so he'll have some comments. 12 volt failed us on this
Second
Oh,
time.
no.
for the second time. So what I've got is instead of running a true dual battery hooked to the alternator, I've got a second Group 35 battery by itself that is only powered by the solar, completely separate. And so we're going to test that. I'm going to test it next week driving to it. I'm going to put the fridge in the truck and just leave it plugged up while I drive to and from work and do my daily things. I figure if it can keep the fridge running, going my daily life
Yeah.
for a week, it should work on a trail.
Yeah, I've used a Jackery for the longest time, and I had just it's the Jackery 1000 or something, and the 2000, and so no, it is. It's the 1000, but it's surge protected to like 2000 watts, and it came with like a 100-watt solar panel when I got it, and that was a complete game changer for me. Like whenever I would go off on trips or whatever, so it would run my fridge for 4 days without charging it at all, which was awesome. Obviously, uh, there are better versions
I
of
don't
it out now. So there are much better versions of that and other companies that build these solar generators and things like that now. But you know, I think having a dedicated setup is one of those things for longer expeditions or longer trips that just makes sense. We
Yeah.
don't have to bring all of these like extra creature comforts or whatever. Like if it's just me, that's different than you guys who bring your family along with you. So it's a
Right.
lot more people. It's a lot more involvement and the things that are going on versus me. I just lean the driver's seat back or whatever and take a nap if I need to. But it also allows for better cooking and things like that on the trail, which I know that I think very shortly after we first met, like you guys were like, I know who's gonna like this shot, you know. Me talking about cooking asparagus and stuff like that, but like I love to cook. I cook outside, you know. I rarely cook in my house anymore, but anyway, besides all that, I didn't get to go on the trip. FMC didn't get to go on the trip. Matt Brody did. Kevin did. Tell us about it. Tell us about the Allegheny Discovery Route, what it is, everything.
Yeah. So the we'll call it the ADR moving forward to save precious syllables. So the ADR I put together I started like most routes, I just dive into every source I can. So I found a lot of it on the Overland Bound
Right.
forums.
Which
But
you
it was a
number?
lot.
Sorry.
It was a lot of extra pavement on either end and some stops I didn't want. So I went in, I trimmed it down, I altered it a little bit, and I meticulously followed around the whole thing until I found every interesting stop along the way and put all those pins in, found all the camping. And I want to say it's 3 to 400 miles of
Nice.
mostly trail, honestly, through West Virginia and Virginia. And we were actually talking about it during the last trip with Matt. It's crazy. Day 2 we did a slightly different version of our first trip this time. I tweaked it so we didn't run the exact same thing. And day 2 of this was 80 miles.
Mhm.
We didn't go through a town. We barely touched pavement. And it's almost impossible to do in the Southeast,
Yeah.
to find 80 miles of dirt with no towns and almost
It's
nothing in
becoming more
between.
and more difficult too because trails are closing and people are just jerks and leaving trash everywhere. And the Forest Service is, obviously having a really hard time. And And we have organizations, environmental organizations that obviously the people that do what we do, right, care about the environment. We want to go out there and enjoy it
Right.
and have it as a public resource, but it's just getting so few and far between of being able to put these routes together. And so I know you've spent a lot of time doing this and research. Probably just probably 3 times the amount of the time you've actually spent on the trip you've planned, right?
Right.
At a minimum. And then to see like all of this work go away because somebody's a trout bro and they get offended that there's some more dirt in the stream. It ruins things, which really sucks. So if you're watching this and you put litter on the trail or you don't clean up your campsite, I mean, it's not a family. This is not a family channel. Fuck off. Like that's just how it is. Like you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
quit.
be kind of honest on that matter. I mean, in the trips we've done, we've been to several different areas now. Some of them much worse than others in that respect. But at every occasion, it always feels more like the locals are trashing it than any of the people like us that are traveling through.
Yeah.
I think that the trash has kind of always been there, and it's kind of always been a problem. Except, if anything, people like us are traveling through and telling people about this through our channels and in different
hmm
social medias, and it's bringing light to the issue that was already there, and now we're getting blamed for it. I think it's more of a
Yeah.
local problem in a lot of
Yeah,
areas.
I think that is too, especially like when I go to a campsite and I see like, a mattress in a creek and stuff like that. Like nobody's
Exactly.
traveling with a mattress,
I didn't
right?
bring that. Yeah.
Right.
You're like, I didn't bring that unless your RV caught on fire, like going down a fire road because you're a dumbass. Like I don't understand how that kind of stuff could even happen. Um, but to your point, Jesse, I know you put a lot of work into the trip and everything else, and you mentioned putting all of the things, the waypoints together, points of interest and things to do, because you guys don't just drive and wheel. You actually go and explore things, right? You actually go out and you,
Right.
you see those points of interest and hike and all of that. So, uh, what are some highlights from trip one, trip two?
It's so funny because we actually were talking to Matt about this. To date, our first Allegheny trip is my favorite trip we've ever done. It was fantastic. We had a great time. We had a great group of people, and it was also just like this brand new experience. It was one of our very it was our very first
hmm
complete overlanding trip. It was everyone that was there. We'd never done it before, so we were all doing
Right.
it for the first time. So it made it super like exciting and just like everything felt like the hugest thing because it was, our first. But the
Yeah.
Allegheny as a whole is a great trip. So the second time doing it, it was completely different. It was awesome, but in a whole different way because I don't want to pretend like we know exactly what we're doing, but we're better at it now, right?
Yeah.
So, in a sense, it's almost you start to take for granted some of those things. So Jesse actually threw in a couple spots that we didn't take the first time, and kind of swapped it up. But the first time it was it was much later. It was in late November. It was
Right.
cold. It was really cold, and there was fog like I've never seen in my life. So none of the focal points he had put, we could really see things. But then this time the weather was much better, so a lot of the overlooks, the first fire tower, I don't know what that was called because I don't remember things like that, but I'm sure he does, was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. The first
Yeah.
time we did that fire tower, it was closed off.
Right.
So we climbed all the way up all these steps, and it's just a board, right? So, but this time it was open and it was clear skies. So
What's it called?
I was there's three fire tower. I'd have to look up at the list, but so I was able to climb up to the top, and look out to the mountains and make my obligatory Lord of the Rings reference and tell everyone that the beacons were lit. Gondor said
I climbed to the very top and stood there for all of about a minute and a half. And when the boys started climbing into the room, the whole thing just was going woo. So I
So
went
you're
back
like,
down a
nah.
level or so. Kevin,
Yeah.
however,
Kevin-
decided to go to because there was another
Kevin
door.
and Matt were both
And-
insane.
Oh, they both did it. They both
Oh.
went to the very top, like the roof of this thing, which I'm sure the view was impeccable. But you know what? I could see it really good from like 2 rungs down. I could see it.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you guys don't have a fear of heights or anything. It's obviously, but like it's just like if something is wobbling and you're like 30, 40 feet in the air, it's a little
More
bit
than that.
different.
Uncomfortable.
I
Yeah.
think it's probably almost 100 feet. You get up there in this metal structure
Goodness.
and you're doing this.
It's like super, super, super wiggly.
No thanks.
I
Whatever,
don't believe
Matt.
you
You
for a
like, it
minute,
felt more
Matt. I feel
stable.
like
I
you're
think,
making that up.
yeah, no lies here, okay? Only truth. Only straight talk truth.
Olsen Tower.
Thank you, FMC. That is what it was, Olsen Tower. And then I love Blackwater Falls. It's a stop
Yeah.
we've made on both trips, and it's beautiful.
It's a short little hike. It's a lot of steps, but it's a really large waterfall, and you get right
But
beside of it.
still, my favorite is the coal ovens and that little waterfall because it's kind of like you don't even. I don't know, dude. If you haven't done the
Did
ADR, you really, really
you
should.
guys went to the like the coke ovens for
Yes.
obviously, back in the Civil War and before then, like doing that to refine the coal, which obviously very, very big in Virginia and West Virginia.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a huge asset for people back then. But what did you really think about that? Because I've never seen them in person. I know about them, but what did you guys think about that?
It's really interesting. You could see more of them the first time when there was no foliage and the weeds were all dead. But that particular spot, creating coke, which is like a refined, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a refined coal that was used in things like blast furnaces for the lining. So that town, that was their whole deal. So what is currently a road used to be a railroad.
Mhm.
And there used to be hundreds of these little coke ovens on either side of the road. And they've got, in this particular spot, they've got like 4 or 5 of them that are in really good shape
Right.
that they put signs at. But when there's no leaves on the trees, you can see the remnants of several other ones along the way down this dirt road. And it's really cool. It's a really interesting piece of history to still be able to see. Because what they would do is the train that these coke ovens would finish what they were doing, and to minimize work because it was all manual back in the day, the train would just pull in and stop, and they would unload it straight out of the oven into the train.
Yeah,
So
and
it
then
was
just
super interesting.
take it on to wherever it needed to go, and then the process starts all over again.
But what's your favorite thing about the ADR?
It's a tough choice.
It's really not that tough because he forces me to spend the night on the same mountaintop
Listen,
every time.
I'm not
And
gonna do it
here
next
to
time.
tell you, this is one of the most beautiful campsites you could ever have in the world. It's perfect for overlanding. Okay, however, it is a mountaintop, and
It's eternally windy. I don't think
I
we've
have
been to every
never-
Yeah,
mountain.
it's a mountaintop.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But every time we go that direction, you can guarantee you're spending one night up there.
It's 62 and windy. is what
It's
it is up there.
real windy.
Yeah.
Like, and you're not sitting by the fire because you're gonna like the smoke is just like there's no getting wet. It's woo.
Yeah, that was this time was we were like we're gonna be smart. We're gonna wagon wheel all these trucks in here like we're a bunch of like
Wind
we're on the
blockers.
we're on the Oregon Trail. We're gonna
Yeah.
circle these trucks up. We'll put the fire in the middle. And what that meant was the smoke was like this way, then this way, then this way. And so
Yeah.
it got everybody somehow.
It's just drafting.
great.
It's just drafting. It's like you built a mini Chicago and made Windy City.
Yeah.
Is pretty much what
Just-
you made.
But you know what though? We get those drone shots processed into the video. It's worth it.
There you go. There you go. All you need is that swirly smoke, and you've got something
Yeah.
cinematic. It's
There
all
we go.
good. Yeah, it's all good there. So what's next for you guys? Toyota Roundup or what's going on? Like you've got an event coming up, I think.
Yeah, we've got several things coming up. We've got immediate vicinity. We're going to be at Expo East.
Yeah.
We're going to be there the whole time. I'm going to be all by myself,
Roaming around like a lost little fella.
roaming around, adding things to my list to purchase.
Yeah. The list that's taken about as seriously as my Great Smoky Mountain Invasion list. Okay.
So but Daisy she's going to be helping Jillian from Apex Overland. She'll be I don't know if you're going to be at the,
I'm not really sure. Jillian has the responsibility of a few different booths, and she's just asked that I'll help out. So I'll be at one of those helping
which
her out.
might be either the Apex
Right on.
Overland booth or the Garmin booth, or there's another one that we're not sure what it is. So
Shame on you.
just look for us there, look for me roaming around trying to buy stuff, Daisy trying to sell stuff.
Like, I'll be the sad guy walking around. You know?
I can't buy anything. That'd be me.
No, I can't buy anything, and my wife is busy talking to other dudes about stuff. That's what it is.
So I'm gonna be, if you see me ask take a picture, sorry that I'm gonna be like,
Yeah. It should be all of your selfies. That's it, right there.
Yeah.
Or all of your group pictures. Everybody's smiling. You're just like Mr. Murphy.
And then in October, at the end of October, our event, which is Coffee and Tacos, it's going to be here comes all the information, guys. So get your pens and paper out. This is going to be October 28th. It is at I'm reading my paper and I got distracted. I got my notes up here.
It's in Troy at Uwharrie, across from.
Yeah, so if you've ever been to Uwharrie in North Carolina, across from the El Dorado Outpost is a big field. It's the OEX Training Center. It's going to be there inside of Adventure Summit. So Adventure Summit normally has an admission fee. It's like $15 or whatever a day. If you tell them you're coming for coffee and tacos, you get in for $5. So
man.
we are going to have a coffee truck in the morning, swapping that out for a taco truck in the afternoon. We're going to have some cool awards for rig superlatives. We're going to do a charity raffle.
Superlatives. I like the height. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. And I'm like busting out the welder and I'm going to make some trophies for it. They're going to be cool.
So what for the trophies? Like what categories do you have? Do you have like
We're
Taco
still working on them,
Supreme,
Russ.
or-
We're still working on them, but like we want them to be fun, but we don't want anybody to get like butthurt about what they got,
Like
So
I
we
got
might have,
I got the crunchy taco one. It's
Yeah.
like,
like we're gonna do, like most likely to be found at the mall.
oh, perfect.
Most likely to be the recovery rig. Most likely to, I don't know. We're gonna have 5 or 6 of them.
They're for fun.
Yeah.
It's really just for fun. I don't know. You've seen Show and Shine 100 times. We're just giving you something different.
Yeah.
Well, the really fun thing about like getting something that you get butthurt about is you get butthurt, or you should only get butthurt for like 2 minutes, and then you can just give it to somebody else, and it's fun.
Well,
Like,
and the
just
other thing
pass it
about it
along.
is the way we're going to do it, because everything we're going to do is going to be for charity. So it's all going to go to Mission 22, which is a
Awesome.
charity that's very important to me as a veteran. So even the superlatives, right? So we're going to do we haven't decided exact numbers, but it'll be something like $2 or $3 to enter your rig in the superlatives. So you've chosen to elect it, you'll get a number. That'll go on your rig somewhere. And then to vote for superlatives, it'll be like $1. You can vote as many times as you
Working
want.
on that.
So what it'll be is if you won something like most likely to be at the mall, it's a good chance your buddies put you there. Your buddy,
Yeah.
it's a good chance your buddy spent $20 to land you a mall crawler award.
That is cool. That's cool. And it's going to a great cause, which is fantastic. So, guys, if you're watching this and you don't do your 22 push-ups a day, just do it. Just do
A
it.
Jeep Cherokee absolutely can come. Absolutely. Bring 2 of them.
And that's our thing, right? Is that anybody can come. Like, I don't care if it's a Toyota or a Jeep or a Colorado. If you want to bring
Or a Subaru.
if you want to bring a Subaru, if you want to park,
I'm kidding.
if you got like a midget, right? Like an old MG, and you want to park that in
Dude,
this
I would
we'll
do
have
that in
you.
a heartbeat. 33 and a 4-inch left on an MG? Hell yes.
Yeah.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
So we're gonna also do, so we're gonna have a charity raffle. We've got some really great sponsors with more coming in. So with that said, I'm gonna tell you who we got, but if you know someone or you yourself want to throw in for the raffle, by all means, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, call me. We'll throw your logo on the rest of the promotional materials. But so far, we've got SPC. They've put some stuff in. They make upper control arms. If you've got a Tacoma and you want to run 35s, SPC upper control arms are the way you're going to do it. Reaper Off Road is putting something in the mail for us. Dobinson's has sent some stuff. Bud Built, who makes Toyota skid plates. HendrickCars.com is sending us some NASCARs. So I think it's going to be some signed Kyle Larson stuff.
That's
Overlander
cool.
Project, Overlander Projects, 4x4 Outfitters is going to throw in a gift card. American Legacy, Venture Unknown. We're going to have a lot of great stuff. And
It's super exciting. There's a lot of good stuff already, and there's
since it's inside of Adventure Summit, you're also getting access to their stuff, which is a whole row of vendors.
It's a whole
They're
other thing.
having-
Yeah.
They're kicking off 24 hours of Uwari while we're there during our event. And they're also having the Great Eastern FMTV Roundup. So
That's
if
a
you,
mouthful.
yeah,
Great.
yeah, but if you
Eastern
like those
MF.
huge, like Earth Roamer style rigs,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they're gonna have a meetup of those at Adventure Summit. But that's
That'll fill up
and
the
that-
whole field right there. Like that'll
it's
fill up the
gonna be
field.
a full day. Lots of
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, and then at the end of the day, if you've ever wanted to run some trails with Moxie, Daisy's gonna run a group through Uwari for a quick
Oh,
trail
nice.
ride.
You doing the Dirty D's or what do you want to do?
We are gonna, because we're gonna have to find a way to limit, right? Like how many people, because I don't want to clog Uwari up. So we're not sure how we're going. I mean, people might not even want to do it, but if people want to
Right.
do it, the amount of people and the people with their rigs and their capabilities, their experience levels, that'll all dictate what trails we do. Because
Oh, for sure.
Uwari is built for literally everyone, and you can be a
Anyone
first
and
timer
anything,
or yeah. So we'll build it off of whatever we end up with the day that they want to do it.
And what we
Oh,
may
that's really
do,
cool.
we're still kicking it around. We may make this also part of the charity. So it may be want to be in this ride. We're gonna have X amount of spots. $5
Yeah.
donation gets you in. I don't know. We'll kick
We're
it.
still
Personally, I
working
think
on how
that's
that
really
works.
good. I mean, I really think that it's a good idea. Both ways, both options is a good idea, right? Doing it for free to help people that are inexperienced get a little bit more experience in a guided ride situation. That's really cool. But being able to do that for a kind of a limited fee, because to be in Uwari, they're going to have to buy the pass or whatever else from the store. But in order to do that, you don't want to go too far above and beyond to kind of price people out. Like Jeeping
Right.
with Judd, I don't know if you guys knew what that is, but I was in Florida for a long time, but they just increased their prices. It used to be like $60, then it went up to 100 like 2 years ago. Now it's $200 per Jeep
Jeez.
to go and do this
Too
thing,
much.
and then it's just there are thousands of Jeeps, so it's like Jeep Beach in Ocala, Florida. So it's like just this very small area, or actually it's outside of it, Orlando now, but it is just insane. So anytime people can or want to get out on the trails, they're worried about going by themselves. They don't have a lot of people that they're friends with that have a lot of experience as well. Um, these kind of things are there. And then if you can pack that in with the benefit of helping out Mission 22 or any other veteran organization or off-road organization, um, definitely. Like if I can afford it, I do it. It's that because it is super important to give back to our veterans and just give in general, right? We oftentimes we people watch our YouTube channels and they're like, "Holy crap, their rigs are so built out, they must be rich," or blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm just really passionate about it. And I choose to spend my money where I want to spend my money, and I may not do other things. I have two passions, well, three really. My wife, my Jeep, and my food. Like that that's really it. So like that's it. I'll live in a tent. Like I don't care, but it's that I really care about. So, having you guys develop and build your rigs and build the routes for other people, and then creating your YouTube channel to share your adventures with other people, to inspire other people, and then using that platform of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those kind of things to create events that bring more people in. That also helps veterans organizations is just something that is straight up admirable. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of everybody else. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. And I know it's might be few and far between when we get to hang out and all that. Uh, but I really enjoy watching the videos. I'm really looking forward to your video coming up soon. So when is that going to be happening, Jesse?
Well, yeah. So first of all, probably before I get mine out, make sure you all go and check out Simply Must Go, because Matt was there with us. He is such a professional. He had his DSLR out there for all these shots while we were sitting there with our cell phones.
First of all, he's an awesome dude. Like literally no
Absolutely.
nicer guy could have been there. He was incredibly nice, just really funny, really just all around awesome dude. So if you don't follow his channel, follow him for that reason alone. But secondly, his videos are awesome.
And also, if you can kick him out of here real quick so we can say what we really think.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
All right.
already said it. I love him.
Nice seeing you, Matt. You know,
So, but what's on the agenda for us? Yeah, so I took a little bit of a break from editing videos. Like it kind of got to me, but we're back in it. I'm working my way through the Artemis rally video for Daisy, which is
Mhm.
so much footage. Let me tell you, like you think a normal overland video? Because so for her footage, I don't know how much you guys know, but it's 4 days of her and Jillian competing in this competition in which they took first place. But it's just it's 4 days of nonstop footage from several different sources and myself. It's so much. But so once we get through that, I got a few reviews and then our Allegheny video. So
We have Kentucky in there somewhere as well.
yeah, oh that's right, Land Between the Lakes before.
So
Rev-
coming to Spartan Overland's channel, like in February, March of 2024, you guys be looking out for the Allegheny Discovery video.
Listen,
That's what it is.
it should be sooner than that because she's been getting on me. She's like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna install some free editing software and do it myself.
Well, I
Oh,
am going to
shit.
get on board and start helping, but I mean, it's a lot on his plate. So we are working to set up a second computer so that I can start helping with editing. So if you guys just be a little bit more patient with us for just a little while longer, you're going to start getting some stuff. I promise.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm working on patience, but I never pray for it, right? So it's that kind of thing. But I will say, like, when you do put the videos together, when you have put them out in the past, especially the long format videos that you've done, it really shows that you spent time thinking. It's not like my talking head videos that I throw on here all the time. It's just like it's really thought out. There's story, there's a plot to it usually, and. Um, Even when there's not, there's there's a sporadic moments that are just moments that you want to capture and you want to share. It doesn't do anything but just bring you in to the group, making you feel like you're there. Matt's videos a lot of times do the exact same thing, and I think both of you guys do great work in putting them out there. Uh, and I'm really excited to see you guys coming together more as a family to do the editing side too, because that just makes sense. You guys are in everything else together. Why not do this? You're both passionate about it, right? So that's super
Mostly it's
rad.
because what you just said, though. He sets the bar so high. He genuinely cares a lot about these videos. That's why you have to wait so long. But they're always, like you said, they're always really, really good. So I'm nervous to start dabbling in
Yeah.
here. I don't want to mess up the trend.
Well, it's like Jesse and I both are like from a design background, and like I got to a
Yeah.
point where I'm like, there are some things where I need to assign like my full mentality to, and be a perfectionist about it. And then uh, the flip side of that is when you do invest that much time, and I know that you guys can empathize with this. You put hours and hours and hours, not just filming it, but going on the trip, kind of almost ruining your trip a lot of times because you're thinking
Well,
about shots and you're spending time doing stuff instead of enjoying the time with the people that you're with. right? So you have to balance that stuff. Then you get back, you offload the footage, you scrub it, you do all of those things. And then you're like, okay, did I think about this as a storyline before I went? Or did I just do this for a video? Or am I trying to come up with some kind of story from this plethora of footage because I was filming all day, right? And all of that, and then 116 people watch it, right?
Yep.
It's kind of a like, it's kind of like a big fu, right? But the purpose behind doing what you do, for me, it shifted for a while, and then I just had to go back to basics. I'm gonna put in this time because I enjoy it. If people watch it, people subscribe to the
Yeah.
channel, people do this kind of stuff, then cool. But otherwise, I want to go have a good time with my friends. You guys do too, your friends, your family, and put it out there whenever you put it out there. And that's it. And you make something that's good for you and don't care about what other people say or whatever else. And yes, Travis's OnlyFans, top notch editing, perfect, cool. So Jesse's also the cameraman for that. So you guys need to pay attention to that.
That's where you've been.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Anyway, that's what's going on. But
No
guys,
wonder our
I
videos are
seriously-
slow, man. He's busy.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man. But I will say this, guys. Like I thank you again for doing all the things that you've done and putting out the video. If you guys are watching this and you're not subscribed to the channels, be sure to check out Spartan Overland. Be sure to check out Simply Must Go. The videos from their most recent adventure and so many more in the past are there for you to watch right now. And yeah, just go subscribe, like, share, comment, all of the YouTubey things to say and all of that. I really enjoyed having you guys and talking about all of this stuff tonight. And I look forward to talking to Matt in 2 weeks from now. My wife and I are going to go up to Boston and Salem and Pennsylvania all next week. So we're going to go up there and explore a little bit of the fall colors and stuff like that. There might be a video on it, but probably not because I'm going to enjoy time with my wife and not worry about filming. So that's just how it's going to be. But thank you guys so much for being a part of this tonight. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I will see you all later on. You guys say bye to people and all that.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I appreciate you for having us on here, and I especially like to thank all the like it's been bouncing back and forth, 9, 10, 11, all of you, but all of you guys sat here and listened to me run my yap for 45 minutes. And that is
All
pretty
three
rad.
of us, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, that's saying something because people don't listen to me for more than 5 seconds usually. So I appreciate it. It's all good. It's all good. But all right, guys, y'all have a great night, and I will see you on the trail.
See you guys in October.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see you guys
October
all.
28th.
We'll see all
October
of
28th.
you
Everyone, all 9
at Coffee
and
and
you.
Tacos.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds good. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later.
Bye. I don't even know how to close this.